Hey there, everybody. I just realized I just start every single conscious coffee with "Hey there, everybody." It must be my thing. So, hey there, everybody. Kind of a late start this morning. I've been lazy, I guess you could say, but hey, it is Sunday, and yeah, might as well be lazy on a Sunday, right? Good morning, Frank. So this morning, I've been bouncing around and trying to catch up on stuff after being gone all week to the Caribbean and stuff, and I was just thinking back over the week and just like all these different things. Morning, Michael. I was just looking back at all the different things that occurred over the week and just the ease and the flow of the week and yet the production level of my week. Like I just got a massive amount of stuff accomplished over the last 7 days, and managed to get a suntan, and managed to lay out on the beach, and managed to drink a couple mojitos and pina coladas, and eat some yummy, good, fresh foods and fish and fruits and everything, and came back just feeling really recharged in so many different ways. Morning, Celia and Joel. So as I was thinking about all of that, and I came home, and yesterday I taught this 3-hour workshop to a group of 50 some odd women who all have the desire to manifest, to call in their soulmate, to call in, this perfect soulmate into their life. So I spent all this time, and I can tell you what, like after a workshop like that, I'm so charged up after my workshops. Like I swear the world it's almost like I'm on freaking drugs of some sort, because I think the grass gets greener after a workshop, and I just feel more, and I feel so alive during a workshop and after a workshop, that I just have that, like, it is an orgasmic energy to me to teach at that level and to witness so many beautiful people, move through different things. I guess that's probably why I do what I do, because it brings me great pleasure to teach, to share, to coach, to work with people. After my workshop, I had 2 beautiful client appointments with 2 lovely ladies, and each one of those appointments, they were so similar. There was so much similar stuff going on with these 2 lovely souls, and at the same time not. And there was emotion in each appointment, and there was connection, and there was just like I felt like these little eureka moments coming in, and there I was standing there witnessing these beautiful women move through some really tough stuff. And they stood there with just courage, for themselves, and like I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it, because I watched the emotion flow through them, and some of it was not pleasant emotion, some of it was very tough, rough emotion of the acceptance of the suffering, the bondage that they had been putting themselves in. And it was quite literally that, like, the realization that they had put this bondage on themselves. And in that class yesterday with all those beautiful women, a lot of the stuff that I was teaching on were principles. Here we are. We want to call in our soulmate. We want to call in this dynamic person into our life. We want to match this person. We want to have them conscious, confident, loving, connected, compassionate, turned on, all this different stuff. But what do we have to do? We have to face our shadow. We have to realize that we're the ones who are preventing ourselves from stepping all the way into that. We're the ones who are not quite leaning in far enough. Maybe we're not ready to receive whatever it is that we're going for. And one particular client, she even said, like, I'm scared of actually getting what I want. I'm scared of actually getting what I want. And to me, as much as that's like wow, I just had this like realization that I'm really scared of receiving everything that I want. The reality is that right there, that realization, that statement, that vocalization of I'm scared to actually receive this, because I'm scared that I'm going to lose it. I'm scared that I'm not good enough for it. I'm scared that that pleasure that I'm going to get from that it's going to go away. It's going to go away. And that's a beautiful awakening, tipping point. Like, that's a breakthrough moment, because that right there is the ownership of the power that you have in your life. That's the ownership of going, holy fuck, like, I am the creator of this bondage. And here's the thing. If we can just realize that we're creating our bondage, then we can realize that we are also so much more capable than what we realize, than what we want to embrace, than what we want to focus in on and go, oh yeah, I am that powerful. I created that bondage, and I can create the breakout. I can get out of this. I can create. I am so much bigger than this. Yes, this is rattling to my cage. Yes, I feel myself shaking inside myself. Like, there is something in there that is just like, no, we are not happy with where we're at in life. We're not happy here. I just want out, right? It's kind of like that cocoon feeling. And, you know, like what the butterfly must feel before it emerges and flies away and opens its wings and expands. It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable to be in that state. But much like the butterfly, when we get that rattling in our soul, that rattling in our cage of just like, hey, you got so much more in you. What that is that's like, you have that power. Like, you are so powerful. And once you realize that, it's that expansion, it's that opening. You break out of the cages, break out of the bondage that you have yourself in, and you realize that you're creating it. You're pulling it in. Like, you are doing it. The good, the bad, the suffering, the beauty, the bliss, the orgasmic life, the holy fuck moment, good and bad, that's all you. It's all you. And it's just, from a coach's perspective, watching my beautiful clients, and I must say that right now I have just some, thinking like through my clients, I would say that 98%, there are a couple that I go about. I love them too, but it's just like, it's more like, you know, the stubborn child that you're just like, why do I have to keep telling you this? But for the most part, 98% of my clients are just in this beautiful space where I know that it may not feel to them that they're in a beautiful space, but from the witnessing side of things and the seeing, I can very proudly, Mama Bear, say that they are right there on the cusp. And that is exciting to me, to see people on the cusp, because that tipping over, that feeling of falling into the unknown, that feeling of, oh crap, what's going to happen now, where we embrace that fear and realize that it is nothing more than an illusion, that we are taking these steps in faith on our path, and that as we as we move forward and we take that step in that faith, that's where the path actually emerges. The path is not just there. I mean, yes, it's just there, but we're not going to actually be able to witness it and to feel it until we take that motion of moving forward in faith. Hold on. I see a bunch of people popping on here. Morning, Joel. Morning, Addison. Said morning to Snelia. Morning, Michelle. And Shannon and Sophia. Senelia. Thank you for everything you are and do. I have so much gratitude and love for you. Aw, thank you, beautiful. Thank you. You are lovely. Thank you for being you and letting that light out. Morning, Crystal. Happy that you're catching us here. Morning, Greg, Patricia, Shannon. Hello, great time. I received the Sacred Pleasure card yesterday to remind me to receive the pleasure instead of addicted to the pain and suffering. Yes, 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 yes. Morning, Lori. Morning, Erica. I totally resonate with that message. It brought me to tears, honestly. And you know, here's the thing. Pain and pleasure, and it is two sides to the same coin. And I think that's really, really important. Hey, morning, Woody. I think it's really, really important to examine that we are creatures that learn through pleasure or pain. That's why they're there, that we have that polar opposite, because we learn from both. And we get to choose which side of the coin we apply our focus to. We get to choose which side we really pay more attention to. And the focus, and this is like that piece that I find myself just teaching over and over and over again. And it's a really easy concept, but it's really hard to change the way we view it. So this is how I speak on it. It is, what are you looking for evidence for? And, pretend that you are a detective. Pretend that you're a detective in your own life, on your own path, and you're looking for evidence. And you, as the creator of your path, you get to choose which evidence you want to go and look for. Like, if you were looking for the evidence of finding a criminal, you're not going to go and look over here in the land of Catholic saints, right? You're not going to go back in history and go, oh, I'm going to go and read all these Catholic saints books while I'm trying to find the evidence of how this person got murdered and who did it, right? That seems ridiculous, right? It's just like, those two things don't go together. But whatever you apply your attention to is where your focus is going to go, is what is actually going to come up more in your life. If you're looking for evidence, and I always use like the yellow car thing, because if you think, oh, I want to buy a yellow car, I really want this yellow Corvette, Ferrari, right? I'm like, oh, we'll just take the Ferrari. So, like, Ferrari's better than Corvettes. So let's just say, I want to buy this yellow Ferrari. And then you're like, yeah, because that'll stand out, that'll pop. You don't see a lot of Ferraris. You definitely don't see a lot of yellow Ferraris. They're not all over my neighborhood. They're not all over my town. And then you start thinking about it, and you start just like, yeah, and you can kind of picture yourself in it. And what happens? Next thing you know, you're driving to the grocery store or something. You're going to work, and you pull up to a stoplight, and next thing you know, lo and behold, a yellow Ferrari pulls up to the light right next to you, and you're like, checking out the car, and like, damn, that's the car that I want right there. Wow, what a coincidence that this car appeared here. And you're driving down, and you get into a parking lot, and you park your car, and what do you pull into? There's a free parking spot right next to a Ferrari, next to a yellow car, right next to a yellow Ferrari perhaps. But whatever you're focusing in on, because you're now looking for the evidence of that, because you put that attention out there, and that's kind of where your thought and your feelings are. And the more passion and desire you have that goes towards that thing that you are feeling, whether that is on the side of pain or on the side of pleasure, it is going to start to materialize in your world in multiple different ways. Pieces of it might come to you at first, or you might just get the deal like right there, like you're sitting at the light and, oh, there's a yellow Ferrari. Or next thing you know, you're at work and somebody says, oh yeah, my uncle, he just recently passed away. They're selling off his estate, and some of the stuff that they're getting, he was a car collector, and he's getting rid of cars, and you're like, oh, well, what kind of cars does he have? And you look, and he's like, oh, here, look, and there's a yellow Ferrari for sale that's at discount. Like, what is that about, right? That stuff happens. That stuff happens all the time. That's called being a co-creator to your life. You're co-creating with spirit. You're co-creating with the universe. And when you are in flow, and when you really truly want something, your soul is like, here you go. Here you go. And when it is doing this is the path of pleasure. This is the path of ease. Now, soul is not about like, well, you didn't say that you didn't like that over there. Whatever you have emotional attachment to, a strong emotional attachment to, that's what's going to appear the quickest. So if you're putting out emotional attachment of suffering, of bondage, of fear, of the resistance to everything, great, well then you're going to get a lot of that stuff that is going to support the resistance that you are putting out. So you're going to feel more resistance, which is also known as suffering, which is also known as bondage, which is also known as pain. You're going to get that. Where on the reverse side of it, if you put your focus onto the pleasure points, and you're like looking for the spots of pleasure, looking for the gratitude, looking for the joy, looking for the happiness, looking for all these different things that are feel-good things, then the universe is going to just naturally bring that to you instead of the negative. It doesn't mean that the negative all just goes away. We live in a world of contrast. We have to have some negative stuff happen in order to have the positive stuff really truly realized, okay? So you never know what you want until you actually feel what you don't want. And I always come back to dating on this, right? So you're out there in the dating world, and I just taught a 3-hour class to a bunch of women yesterday, which was amazing. If any single ladies are on here, just know that did get pre-recorded. I have a lifetime group on that here on Facebook where we're just building a beautiful tribe of women to support each other in manifesting their soulmates, with a bunch of content in there as well. So, but one of the things that happens, we're out there in the dating world, male and female, and we wonder, like, why is this always coming to me? I always attract this kind of person. And it's like, I see a lot of narcissist stuff kind of flying through on Facebook, and I have a couple clients that are narcissists and a couple clients that have narcissists in their life. So the narcissism thing is kind of a hot topic. So we'll just say you're out dating and you just keep attracting narcissists in your life. It's just what you do. You just got narcissist after narcissist after narcissist. Like, oh shit, what the hell? Like, I got all these narcissists. Like, what is it? Is every person a narcissist these days? Is this an up and coming fad? No, it's not. It's because there's something inside of you that is fearful of certain things that, it's just like you don't feel worthy. You are too much a people pleaser. You're too much of a giver. You are not in alignment with your yes and your no, your authentic answers. You don't know how to be like, hey, I'm going to really fuck no to that, so I'm just going to be a no to it and be okay. You're not good at communicating. You've had a narcissistic relationship in the past, so you fear and dread that narcissist relationship right now in your future, and because you fear it so much, you have so much energy going toward it that it's like, oh, did you say that you wanted another narcissist? Here you go. Let me just serve that up for you. That's what the universe feels. The universe is just going, hey, we're picking up on the fact that you are really emotionally attached to this. So here you go. Oh, yeah, that one wasn't good enough. Here you go. Here's another one. Here's a whole catalog of it for you, like a narcissist catalog. There you go. And you're sitting over there going, I can't manifest a good date for the life of me. I think that they're this way, and then all of a sudden this happens, and this happens, and that happens. And what it is it's because you're calling it in because of your emotional attachment to it. And that is the resistance to what you are actually wanting. And you'd be like, yeah, but I don't want a narcissist. I want this over here. I know what I want. Yeah, you know what you want, but you're focusing on what you don't want. Which side of the coin are you focusing on? So a lot of the times it's really important to really check in. If you're getting stuff that's coming into your life that is not in alignment to what you're wanting, then it's very, very clear you have nobody to bitch to. You can't point fingers out into the world. There's nothing you can do about it except for go, oh crap, what am I focusing on? What am I focusing on? Well, I'm focusing on what I want. Is that true? Because that's not what's manifesting in your life. So if that's not what's manifesting in your life, then that must not be true. Plain and simple. So get to your truth, own your truth, go, okay, yep, I was really fucking up there, and I really wasn't. I was more in fear mode. I was more in scarcity mode. I was more in, the resistance mode here, and my attention was actually finding the evidence of what I don't want to create instead of what I do want to create. So it's just a very simple list, like, okay, we're turning this way, and now we're going to focus on what we want. We're going to focus on what we want. But it is the habit, okay? Creation work is much like yoga. It is, or any practice-based work. If you have a meditation practice, if you have a yoga practice, if you have any sort of exercise practice, if you, like whatever those practices are that you might have, a journaling practice, it is on that same path, and that is that habit of consistently doing that. You have to be consistent, which means you have to be committed to catching yourself doing this and going, oh, I'm over here. Just keep catching yourself doing this and just keep going over here and just bring yourself to that. Don't beat yourself up over it. Realize that you're human. We all do this. This is an ongoing battle. This is not something that you're ever going to get over. You don't just get to have it all of a sudden, oh, I'm 100% groovy on this and I never have to worry about this again. No, this is a moment to moment for the whole process of you breathing in the body that you're in and your heart beating. This is a consistent process. None of us get to just be done. Does not happen, because your energy never just gets stuck in some place. You are constantly doing this energetically, vibrationally speaking, and that vibrational space that you are in is all determined by the thoughts that you're thinking, which do not stay stagnant, the feelings that you are feeling, which do not stay stagnant, and therefore your vibration does not stay stagnant, and also what you manifest to you does not stay stagnant. If you are stagnant in your manifestation stuff, it's because you have created a habit, which is probably now a belief, which can be easily turned by changing over that habit, changing the focus, looking for different evidence. But when you gain that kind of habit-forming thought pattern, which is now a belief, then you will appear, it's not accurate, but it will appear as though what you're manifesting is stagnant. Like you're always getting narcissists as you're dating people, like it's like I always date narcissists. Actually, I've had a few narcissistic relationships. I think we're all a little narcissistic in our own ways, in different ways. I was actually just talking to one of my clients the other day, I think it was, or maybe I was talking to Addison while we were in Punta Cana. I don't remember. I've had a lot of conversations, but I remember saying, I think that we're all kind of we have a hint of narcissism, all of us do, because we can all be that self-centered and believing our own crap stuff, and especially in the energy world, we can definitely get into that. So, but this is not a narcissist talk. It's just a good, since it's such a hot topic in the dating world and people working through stuff, and there really is a lot of narcissism, hyper-focused narcissism going on right now. I believe that it's just a bunch of lost souls not wanting to deal with their own shadow work, really feeling lost with inside themselves, kind of lost with the different stuff that's going on, and not accurately knowing how to go about creation work from a point of soul and heart. So they're trying to control the situation from a point of ego, which is where narcissism comes from. So yeah. Okay, so I guess that's my whopping big conscious coffee for today. Let me see who else popped on here. Morning Betty, morning Sandra. I said hi to Witty. Morning again to Witty, I guess. Yeah, the link for Manifest Your Man 10 Hacks is in the comments section. Morning Carol. Morning. Yes, energy does keep moving. It consistently moves, which is really, really great. And here's the thing. And like the title of my conscious coffee this morning is like, pleasure comes to those who are open to pleasure. Well, you've got to be open to it means that you're focusing on it. And it's really that simple. You can't say that you're turned on. You can't say that you're orgasmic. You can't say that you're living this fuck yes life. You can't say that you're like, oh yeah, I feel so free. I feel so flowy, when you're sitting like this and your body posture is like, no, I'm hiding, I'm protecting, I'm armored up. Or you're trying to do something where it's like, no, I'm gonna pronounce myself, like puff up my feathers and go into protection mode like that. Or you just have, excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to say this, and you guys should be used to me by now. If you have dry pussy face, and that can happen to men and to women, and that is that lack of luster in their life. Like, you can tell a turned-on, lit-up person from an unturned on, lit-up person. It is very clear. We can't hide this. No matter how much makeup us ladies put on, no matter how much perfume we spray on ourselves, no matter how what brand of clothes we're wearing, what car we're driving, what house we're in, how handsome our partner is or how beautiful our partner is, if we are not at our core ignited and turned on, this right here, they really are windows to the soul. And when your soul is sad, when your soul is like, they're not on, my body is not on purpose with me. My body has not fully stepped in. My body's not quite ready to take that leap. My body is not ready to fly yet. Then this right here, you can see the sadness in somebody's eyes. You can feel it. And it's just like, they're just no luster. I refer to it as the gray people. I do. I refer to it as the gray people. I remember, God, this is probably like 10 years ago now. It was, I think, my first or second year in Texas. So it had to be like 10 years ago. And I had a friend of mine who, at that time, him and his wife owned a raw food store, a raw food restaurant out in Connecticut. And he flew here to do some work and everything, and we drove down to Austin together. And Austin is a very hip, very cool town for anybody who hasn't been there. Austin is an amazing, amazing city. Definitely recommend it. It's like one of those just really kick-back, easygoing. It reminds me of my home, Chico, California. It's just a bigger version of it. So it's just, it feels very homey to me. But go down there, and raw food is very popular, and being more consciously aware for the environment is popular. It's just the thing. It's the way of being and everything. And we're down there, and we go to a raw foods restaurant, and I remember sitting there eating this amazing coconut raw food cheesecake. Like, I got a thing for cheesecake, but raw food cheesecake's amazing. We're sitting there, we had eaten our lunch or dinner, whatever it was, and we're sharing this piece of raw food cheesecake. And this family walks in the door, and it's a husband and wife and a couple kids. And they walk in the door, and they're slender and they're fit, and they obviously eat clean. The kids are eating, and they go and they purchase food. But I sat there and I looked at them, and I looked at my friend John, and I was like, hey John, I was like, is it just me, or are they kind of gray? Are they kind of gray? And he was like, no, they really are. Like, their skin tone is gray. I'm like, are they aliens? But the whole thing was that even though they had taken such pristine care, obviously, of their physical bodies, their soul body was really just not in alignment to whatever the heck they were doing, because it wasn't about the food. It wasn't about the hydration. All that stuff plays a role. All that stuff does change the way we feel and gives us energy and not. But when we're talking, like, when I say dry pussy face or orgasmic life or turned on, lit up, like you hear all these talk about light workers. Oh, I'm a light worker. Oh, I'm a healer. If that's a gray person that is not lit up, or, people that have really kicked into, I've been using orgasmic life coaching for years, and all these terms of orgasm used to be like a big, ooh, don't say that word. And now I see a whole bunch of coaches kind of like jumping on that bandwagon of orgasmic coaching and stuff, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it's so needed. But then I also see a whole bunch of people out there that are trying to walk this path, but they themselves are not turned on. They themselves are gray and just shut down. And I'm like, you don't feel orgasmic to me. You don't feel lit up. You don't feel turned on. You don't feel passionate. I'm not feeling you. I feel your sadness. I feel the depression coming from you. Like, this is just here, and your stance is this, not one of comfort in your own skin, not one of fluid motion and sensualness, where you're just in love with yourself, which is key to pleasure, is to be in love with yourself. Yeah, so what did you say here? So true. People not turned on to their lives are missing a natural glow that nothing else can give you. Yeah, and it really is that. I mean, it's just, if you hate the life that you're living, or you're hating a subject in your life that you're living, and you're trying to separate and and control, and you're trying to fake it till you make it, it's really tough to fake it till you make it if you're feeling one way inside and you're trying to practice something else on the outside. And it's, it is this ground that we all go through. I can tell you, I've been there many a time. I cycle through. We have these life cycles, and it just is that we have to kind of just keep pushing through. But it's not the faking that you need to be doing. It's the getting real that you need to be doing. It's the be real with yourself. Own your bullshit as much as owning your truth, because there's power in that. If you can just realize, like I said on the front side of this, if you can realize that you're the one keeping yourself in bondage, then you can also tap into the reality that you have so much power, because you're the one who's got yourself in the damn bondage. So guess what? Who's the key holder? Who's the key holder? You are the key holder. So if you are the key holder, then you can let go of that bondage. You can so easily let yourself out of the cages that you have. All the things that you come up with. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough support. I don't have enough energy. I'm not healthy enough. I got too many kids. You don't understand, Kendal. My kids are little. You don't understand, Kendal. My kids are high school students and they're driving me crazy. You don't understand, Kendall. I have this physical challenge. You don't understand, Kendall. I don't have the money to do that. You don't understand, Kendall. I don't have a supportive partner. You don't understand, Kendall. I'm doing this all by myself. I don't have any support at all. I have no family. I have no man in my life. I have no woman in my life. I have no blah, 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 blah. You don't understand. I have depression. You don't understand. You don't understand. I have sexual trauma in my past. You don't understand. I don't have a job that is sufficient enough. You don't understand. I'm just trying to pay my bills. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. You don't understand. I'm working a job that I really hate, but it's the only thing I'm good at. That, number one, FYI, we've all had some piece of that, if not multiple pieces, lots of multiple pieces of that. We've all have our own saga of shit that we deal with. And I can tell you that the game changers out there, the visionaries, the leaders, the people that we look up to, that you look up to for mentorship, for guidance, for like, I want to go that direction. I want some of what they're taking, right? Like, I want some of that stuff. That person that you are pointing toward, that person that you are respecting at that level, that you're like, I want some of that. That person might have more saga shit than what you have, may have been through deeper, darker levels of depression and loss and trauma than what you could ever imagine. And all they did was make a choice. They made a choice to not apply their focus on that saga shit, on that past, and re-anchor it into their present. They made a choice to focus on what they wanted. They made a choice to focus on their truth. They made a choice to know that shit, that's in the past. Does not have to be the me of today. The me of today can move forward how the me of today wants to move forward. This me is deserving of the life that she wants. This me is deserving of the freedom that she wants, the finances, the body, the love, the whatever. Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. And it's just like, it's so much power if you just realize that bondage is based in those reasons and excuses. No matter how logical, no matter how powerful, how realistic they might seem to you, it is still just reasons that are actually excuses. And that is the chains that hold you from everything that you want. It really is. It's the chains that make you where you're being held back. That's the blockage. And it's all up here. It's all up here. It's just thoughts. It's all a fucking illusion. It is. It's just an illusion, and I know how hard that can be to really truly accept that. But by playing with it, by focusing in on where you're bringing your attention, where you're focusing in on your what you're looking at, which I can't forget the stinking word now, evidence, where you're looking for your evidence, that right there, and then the acknowledgement of when you actually have something like that yellow Ferrari that you're like, oh, I really want to buy this, and then one pulls up next to you at the stoplight. Acknowledge that. Go, oh my God, like I was thinking about it and I haven't seen a yellow Ferrari for months, and bam, there's a yellow Ferrari. Somebody appears to you and is talking about a car for sale, and it's like, hey, and they're selling a Ferrari or a yellow Ferrari. Guess what? That is the universe. That is your soul that is guiding you, that is saying you're in charge. You're in charge. So for all you control freaks out there like myself, realize that we have so much control. This is a world that is based on us being control freaks. If you like the sound of that, it really is. It's like it's a control freak haven where we get to be masters, controllers of exactly what we are commanding into our life. But it is through what we focus on and the letting go of the tightening and the fear and the opening up to actually focusing on our pleasure, on our joy, on our bliss. Just like Joseph Campbell states in lots of his work and his whole, the basis of Joseph Campbell's thing is to follow your bliss. And I love that statement because that is following your pleasure, that is following your desire, that is following your heart, that is following your truth. And the more we tap in and we do that, the more beauty and stuff that comes into our life, the more we access it because that's where our focus is. So Okay, guys, on that note, I have a 12-week course called Unstoppable Power. It's my time to fly. It is a ladies course, so sorry, guys. I mean, not that you guys can't sign up for it, but it really is a ladies class because we're kind of talking the last section of it, the very last section of it. We're going to be talking about the last 4 weeks. You guys are going to love this. If any of you women are wanting a little bit of action on this stuff, my last section in the 12 weeks is on money, sex, and men. So I'm going to be giving a whole bunch of stuff like that. So I do encourage you to click on the link that is in the comment section for Unstoppable Power. It's my time to fly. It's a 12-week intensive. It is a steal of a deal right now. It is discounted. I'm actually going to extend that discount out until the 10th of this month, just because I have not done a very good job of promoting it, as I was busy traveling and getting a suntan and teaching a couple workshops and having some good sex myself. So I haven't done a really good job of promoting my own 12 weeks, but it will be starting on the 15th of... Oh, see, somebody just texted me that just saw me on here. So thank you, because I think you're still around. So thank you, Monsieur, who's telling me that I'm beautiful and glowy today. What was I doing? See, Unstoppable Power. Look, guys, 12 weeks. And what you're going to be getting is you're going to be getting 6 one-on-one sessions with me. So this is like an opportunity of a lifetime. I do not work for the one-on-one rates alone. I really should kind of add up what the value is of this course, because it's freaking phenomenal as to what I'm actually giving away in here. You're going to have unlimited access, lifetime access to a beautiful tribe of souls that are coming together to support each other, not just for the 12 weeks, but for as long as you want to hang out and be part of that tribe of dynamic people where we are supporting each other in the manifestation of really coming into ourselves, being true to ourselves, creating that life that we want, like really that designer life, that fuck yes life that I call it. And then also learning about 3 awesome topics, right? Money, sex, and men. Yes. So we are going to really be touching on that. I do encourage you to take advantage of the discount, which will be available until the 10th of this month. It is just it's $500 off. So this is like one of those retardedly really cheap things that I should check myself. But you know what? I love giving things, and I love building tribes, and I love connecting with all you beautiful souls. So explore it. If you have any questions, of course, message me. Click on the link in the comment section here to go explore that. Grab your spot in the group ASAP if you are feeling called to it, if that's something that aligns to your soul. Hope to see you on the other side on that. I will be on here tomorrow with another conscious coffee. And let me make sure that I didn't miss anything. Being in alignment with our message and work as coaches is so important. Yes, Michelle. Self-love is essential mentally and physically. Absolutely, Lucy. Thank you, everybody, for being on here. Thank you, all of you beautiful souls on here this morning. Blessings to all of you. If anybody hasn't told you yet, I love you. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are the creator of your fuck yes life. As always, stop existing, start living. You can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com. I'll see you tomorrow.